Well, those who marry. Who's that cop on TV? He has had 3 wives, and all his 3 wives were found dead. You know that cop? A former cop. Scott, yeah, something like that. Scott Peterson, right? He had 3 wives, and all of them were found dead. And he was marrying a 4th one now. Would you marry someone like that? Teamwork. The reason you marry is so you can bring your spouse to heaven with you. Is that a good reason? So don't let your spouse say, oh, it's up to you. You want to go to hell? Just go to hell yourself. You have a job. It's your responsibility to make your spouse go to heaven with you. It's a teamwork. Don't say, you're so angry, you go to hell. That's even judging. Who are you to judge anyone? Any question? I have something here. This year, 587 BC. I was not born yet in 587 BC, but I read about it. What happened in 587 BC? Does anybody have any guess? I know. I read in the newspaper. What happened in 587 BC? It was on CNN. You didn't see it? What happened in 587 BC? The Babylonians destroyed Jerusalem. That was 587 BC. It was this year when the Babylonians conquered Jerusalem. You know, Jerusalem sits on top of a mountain. Do you know that? And that mountain is called Mount Zion. That's why it's called Zionist State, Israel. The city of Jerusalem. So when you go to Jerusalem, you have to climb up because it's sitting on top of the mountain. It's pretty steep too. It's pretty steep. It's not easy. If you have a problem with your knees and legs, it might not be that easy to climb up to Jerusalem. And the Babylonians conquered Jerusalem. And they destroyed the temple. That's what they did. That's what happened in 587 BC. 3 things. The Babylonians conquered Jerusalem. They destroyed the temple. They leveled the temple. This was something unthinkable for the Jews. Imagine. They destroyed the temple to the ground. They razed it to the ground. And the Ark of the Covenant went missing. Now, what is the significance of the Ark? What was in the Ark? There are three things inside the Ark. What do you have to know about the Ark of the Covenant? Number one, it's made from acacia wood. You know acacia? The tree, acacia tree. The Ark of the Covenant was made from acacia tree wood and is covered with gold. And what did it contain? What was in the Ark of the Covenant? The tablets of the Ten Commandments. It also had the staff of Aaron. Remember Aaron? Aaron had the staff. It was in the Ark of the Covenant too. And the third thing inside the Ark was a vial of the manna. Remember the manna that sustained the Jews during this 40-year pilgrimage in the desert? The manna, the bread from heaven. Very, very profound, simple. And in 587 BC, the Ark of the Covenant went missing. And what happened afterwards? Well, during 80 years after, I remember, I counted, it's about 80 years after this. So what year was it? 507 BC. In the year 507 BC, Solomon had his temple rebuilt. Okay? But there was no Ark of the Covenant. It was an empty room. Even if the high priest would still go to the Holy of Holies, there was no Ark of the Covenant. Why? Why is there no Ark of the Covenant? It went missing 80 years earlier. What about to this day? Have they found the Ark? There are many theories. Some people say Ethiopia. Some people say Jeremiah hid it in the mountain. But nobody knows where it is. They couldn't find it anymore. Now, my big point. Why couldn't the Jews find the Ark of the Covenant? Are you ready for the big thing? The Ark of the Covenant lost with the coming of Jesus Christ. The Ark of the Covenant was not needed anymore. Because the Ark of the Covenant symbolized the presence of God with the Jews, the Israelites. Imagine the Ten Commandment tablets, the staff of Aaron, and the vial of manna inside the Ark. And what replaced it? The Blessed Mother, the new Ark of the Covenant. Why is the Blessed Mother called the new Ark of the Covenant? Because the Blessed Mother contained God, His body, His blood, His soul, His divinity in her womb. What could be more profound than God Himself inside the womb of the Blessed Mother? It's so profound. Who needs the tablets of the Ten Commandments? Who needs the staff of Aaron? And who needs the vial of manna? Nothing compares to the real presence of God inside Mary's womb. And so when the Blessed Mother with Jesus, when Jesus was presented, remember the presentation of Jesus in the temple? That's a full fulfillment of God becoming present once again. Without need for the Ark of the Covenant, God is physically present. That's why Simeon, remember the old man Simeon? He held the baby Jesus in his arm. When Simon says, the old Simeon I mean, he says, this child will cause the rise and fall of many in Israel. Plus, of course, the purification of, you see this in the book of Leviticus. In the olden times, when a woman gives birth, becomes pregnant, and delivers a baby, this woman becomes dirty, and And this woman needs purification. And the Blessed Mother was no exception. For so many days, when the baby, the firstborn male, there will be X many days. We will talk about this in time. Before purification. And when the child is a daughter, it's even longer. The Bible says the purification is longer time when the child is female. In other words, the mother is dirty for longer time compared to when the child were a son. But Jesus was a son, so again, Jesus was born under the law, so even the Holy Family, Joseph, Mary, and Jesus, they abide by the law. You see this in the book of Leviticus, chapters 2 and 3. Okay? Is that, you understand? What does an empty temple remind you of? Yes, sir.
Another interesting point, symbolically speaking. The serpent that Moses raised up in the desert was also taken by the Babylonians. So you have another symbol for Christ being raised up and drawing all humanity to him.
Right. Yeah. We mentioned that when we discussed that particular, but the Bible. Absolutely, yes. The only question is, why would a serpent be raised up? Why would the serpent's image be raised up?
Because that's what was biting everybody.
Yeah, we mentioned that before in one of the earlier classes. Yes. Okay, good point. All right. Now, I'd like to talk about an empty temple. Remember, no ark. Are you ready for this? Only the Catholic Church. Only the Catholic Church has churches that are not empty. You know that. If you go to St. Peter's, the temple is not empty. The Holy of Holies is occupied. It's not empty. You go to those other Christian churches, it's empty. I know, I've been inside. It's a building, it's an enclosure with a rock band, with the musical instruments on the side. There's no altar, and there's a pulpit. Where all the people do is preach and preach and preach, and then music. There's no presence. There's no presence. It's an empty temple. But the Catholic Church is not empty. We have the Blessed Sacrament. And the Blessed Sacrament has physically the body and the blood and the soul and the divinity of Jesus Christ. Truly present. So we don't need the ark. We have Jesus. We have God truly present in the Eucharist, in the Blessed Sacrament. Who needs the ark? We have God truly present. See the point? So you think the Babylonians won? Jesus has conquered them all with His real presence. You see that in Luke chapter 2. Next week, we'll talk about taming the tongue. Would you like to talk about that? Our tongue can be used as a two-edged sword. You know you can kill somebody with your tongue. You know that? Either by commission or by omission. Some of us should speak and did not speak. That's sinning. Some of us who needed not to speak, speak. There's an old line saying, if you have nothing good to say, it's probably better don't say it. You understand?